Hello, crafty friends, and welcome back. Today I'm playing along with the hop of Off the Board, and this is where we pull a pin off our Pinterest boards and be inspired by it. So that was the pin that I pulled. It was a layout created by Vicky Parker, and she, at the time she created it, she was on the design team for Hip Kit Club. And so hopefully you will see where I got my inspiration for this layout. I am continuing to work on some of my heritage picture layouts here. So I had this, I guess, is it called a damask maybe, stamp. I believe this is from Elizabeth Crafts. I'm using two different colors of inks and just kind of placing them around the block. I forgot to take my blocks with me. That I am working on this layout at a retreat. And actually, I kind of like how it came out imperfect anyway. And so it worked out that I didn't have a block because it might have been a little too perfect if I had had one. So as you can see, I made a kind of a background design first in on the left side of my layout there with my stamp. And so here I am now mixing some Lindy's magical powders, and this jar is so old that it doesn't even have a color on it, but basically it's a gold yellow color. And so I wanted this mixed media to be kind of mixed between a goldish color and the pearl white color that the texture paste originally is. And this is a older Sizzix shimmer texture paste. And I actually have never tried mixing anything with it to see if it would take color. And the powders that I used, it did turn it into like a pale gold. So you can see that I did get kind of a mixture modeled color between the white and the gold on my background mixed media. And so I set that aside to dry, and so I pull out a couple other mixed media colors. And so I'm using that original gold shaker, and then I also had this other pot of magical powders here, the Lindy's Magicals, and as you can see, that it was a gold color, but when you do use the magicals, that they have other tiny bits of colors mixed within them as well, so there you can see that splotch of blue on there. And so I'm really just at this point playing around with this first flower to see if I liked what I came up with here. So I'm showing you all the different colors and that I'm going to use to get a variation of colors on all of these flowers. So I did spray all of them with water, and first I sprinkled on some of that gold powder first, and then I'm using the second one, which I think is called maybe Sleigh Bells. It was in a Christmas kit that I got quite a while ago, and just kind of sprinkled that all around. And so now I'm just kind of using a paintbrush and spraying on more water just to spread the colors around and get the flowers more saturated into the color that I was hoping they would eventually get to. So these flowers go through quite an adventure through different layers and drying and more sprays and more powders and more water. And there you can see that I actually, when the flowers got wet, that I discovered that there were multiple paper flowers stuck together. So I do eventually go back and add some colors to those flowers as well. And so then I get out these Prima watercolors and start to add some additional dimension to these flowers with just adding some paint around the edges of each one and down the seams of each petal, just to give a little bit of difference in color as well. And here I am cleaning my brush, thinking I'm going to try... Oh, nope, I'm done with that for now. So I've done all those, and then here I'm going to take my dryer and dry those off. And so now I come back to my main background here, and I'm ready to start putting my layout together. And so this is a picture of my great-grandparents on their 50th wedding anniversary at their party. This piece of ephemera that I'm using is from 49 and Market, and I actually really liked how the coloring went with the background that I have created here. And so basically I just cover up the middle of it as far as what the saying was in the middle, and using some brown ink to distress the edges there. And so there I have my flowers. I have this piece of acetate, which came from the 49 and Market ochre collection. Ochre. I get that wrong every time. Sorry, 49 and Market. And I'm just using that as a layering piece, that it has, I believe, some French words on it. And so I also have these very old Prima pearls that I'm going to add on here as well. And there, I get those stuck on. And originally you saw that I had like 5 of those flowers. Oh, see, I'm showing you that those flowers were, well, I don't know if it was the flowers or the pearls, and I think it was the pearls from 2009. So they have been in my stash for quite some time, and I finally found the layout to get them on a layout here. So I have this pre-made title that's been in my stash also. It just says love. And so here I'm just picking out a few of these flowers to add some layering. Originally I had 3 clusters of flowers, and ultimately I decided that that was a little too overpowering, especially with the gold on the flowers. So I think I end up just going with this one set of flowers here. And now I'm just trying to find what I want to put in the middle of this flower and what color. So then I also, since I decided to use just one set of flowers, that I had also pulled out some of my 49 and Market stash of rub-ons. And so instead of having paper leaves or anything else, that I did decide to use some of these rub-ons as a lower layer on the actual layout with the more dimensional flowers there. So getting those put on, and those have been on my stash for quite a while as well, so this was a great way to get some of those used up. Making sure that that is stuck down really good here. And so originally why I was struggling to decide which of these gems to use in the center was because I didn't think it was big enough, and so I ended up using this gold color. And then I have this sheet of leftover brownish gold colored gems, and I had just enough to use up the entire sheet and go around the bigger gems, so it kind of looked like a flower gem in the center of the flowers. And so here I have a piece of chipboard, and I do decide to add a smaller cluster of flowers up here in the upper left corner of the photo here. Also adding some additional rub-on leaves, and they actually did pretty good of going over the top of that mixed media, even though it was textured. So I just had to make sure that I got into the grooves in between and really got it, the rub-on adhered to the paper and then also on top of the mixed media. So I do add another gem to the middle of this flower as well, but since it's smaller, this one seems more proportional for the size of the flower. So I don't add any additional gems other than just to use up the 3 or 4 that I had left on the sheet and just place them around that flower. And now I have used an entire sheet of those gems, and they are out of my stash. So add this little sticker here. And let's see, I'm adding, oh, just a little heart there on the side, and I did put a piece of foam tape under there. And I think I was trying to decide that I wanted to move that gem and it wasn't coming off, so I decided to leave it. And so this is pretty much going to wrap up the layout that I did go around the outside and ink all four sides, and that is going to be it. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to leave those down below. Otherwise, I will have some close-up photos here coming up. Those will also be posted on my Instagram as well as Pinterest. And if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up, that would be awesome. And if you want to see more videos, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So thanks for stopping by, and we will see you next time. Bye.